turkey. Everyone's celebrating the slaughter of my people. I'm so upset about this.
You're a turkey.
In Thanksgiving, everything means something. Like the turkey does actually represent the Native Americans because they came here with their turkeys from Hungary because Hungary and Turkey are close together. And if you're hungry, you eat a turkey. And so they make fun of the Native Americans by eating a turkey, which signified the Native Americans to them. And then corn, because they thought it was pretty corny to do that, signifies that. And then yams, because they were glad that all the Native Americans were gone. They're like, are you glad? They're like, I know I am. See how all the ingredients signify something terrible for Native Americans.
Video special coming up. Thanksgiving, according to Logan.
I'm always right about these things. Let's give it, I'm going to give this away. The contest has been going on for a long time, and I should have given this away quite a while ago. I just kind of ignored it because we're going to be doing a build with this before I give it away.
We had also a minor issue with getting hardware.
Yeah, we're supposed to be getting some hardware in so I could do a build and benchmark this thing and then give it to you guys, but I'm just going to go ahead and read off the winner. The Danish guy. Listen to this. So it was a contest where you had to go and pick the right answer, and it was like a question like, what color is Logan's shirt? The answer was Imperial Black. What color is my shirt every week? Purple? Green? What was it, like cromulent yellow or something? I forgot all the choices. But
all the color choices were really absurd and hilarious.
Here's the thing that really scares me. 3,278 submissions and only 2,113 correct answers.
Fully 33% of you were either trying to troll or, good lord, we have totally misjudged our audience.
You guys don't know that I wear black shirts. I'm really hurt. So the Danish guy, here's what we're going to do, because I want to make sure that you're like a watcher and you're not like some idiot who just trolls the web to get Radeon 7970s that you're going to sell on Craigslist. I don't want you to get rich on Craigslist. I want you to enjoy this and come play some games with us on our server. You have until Monday, sir, to send me an email. inbox@techsyndicate.com. Monday. Sometime during the day, Monday, if I don't see an email that says, hi, I'm the Danish guy in the subject line, then I might just give it to somebody else. We give it to a viewer.
You can also post on the forum on the website or anything like that. It's like, oh, email's too unreliable. Okay, go post on the forum.
Yeah. Oh, we got our encryption going up yet or whatever?
Oh, no, shoot.
We'll get our encryption going in like a day. So anyway, let's talk about some technology news in the world. 7970 is going off. You know what? No, it's going to hang out up here with me today. Yeah, like you. I'm going to miss you so much. Let's start with the fun stuff first. Sci-Fi has a new robot fighting show. Remember BattleBots or whatever it was? Was it Discovery Channel or something that was doing that? The little robots that flamethrower and hit things with...
There were two competing robot battle shows.
Yeah, they were both the same. They were just like, hey, can we get a flamethrower on this thing? Yeah. And now every time I go to like any kind of maker fair or something, every time I see a robot, the first thing out of my mouth is, where's the flamethrower? And everyone is like, God, it's not a combat bot, okay? I'm like, why not? I was told that we combat bots. Anyway, so this show is going to feature, it's called Robot Combat League, and it's going to feature like 8-foot-tall battle bots. These are like humanoid. I mean, that's a lot of money. every time one of them gets hit, I'm going to just like be like $10,000. $4,000 every time like a part moves. It's just going to be like, no. Would you want to build something for this, Wendell?
It would be awesome to build something for this, but I mean, honestly, it's not. It's kind of the redneck league of this kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, you got real stuff to do.
Well, I mean, it would be fun to build a giant robot, but I mean, I don't think it's going to be a lot of fun to build, a giant hydraulic robot for crushing other robots. I mean, that's just not. That doesn't do it for
they're
me.
Marketing it correctly. Like, there's a pretty boy here with his thumbs in his pockets, like, yeah, I'm a badass. Look at me, I could be a robot too. They're doing that whole Hollywood thing. I love it. I just love Hollywood with their stuff. It's great. Speaking of. I don't even have a segue. Screw it. Shut up about Twinkies. Everybody shut the hell up about Twinkies. Nobody cares. People are dying in Gaza, and you guys are so obsessed with Twinkies.
The thing you got to take away from the Twinkie situation is that whole maneuvering was designed to rob the workers of their pensions. The executives are like, we need our bonuses and all this kind of stuff. And the government will probably pay the workers' pensions, but the pension fund is not actually going to pay for the pensions.
And why are these bastards not going to go to jail for this?
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Well, on a different note, the Twinkies are going to be saved. Someone is going to... the first instant, everyone's like, hey, oh my God, eBay, $70 per Twinkie. We were all like, someone else is going to buy the recipe or the rights to make Twinkies, and it looks like PBR is leading. PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon. There's going to be fat hipsters everywhere.
The really crazy thing is that the union apparently, so there's 18,000 factory union workers, and apparently whoever buys the factory, the workers don't come along with that. And so that's why the government is quietly nervous, because whoever buys them could fire everybody. But the government is like, no, we can't do that. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
I mean, I don't want these people to be out of a job, but I think it'd be fine if America was out of a bunch of flummery. Flummery! The oldest still working, yeah, one of the oldest computers in the world, Kevin Murrell has put it back together and brought it back to life. This is an interesting little video here. I'll let you guys watch this. I'm not going to get into it too awful much, but it's pretty interesting. It's one of the punch machines, and you have to, it's pretty insane.
It's loud.
Yeah, it is. It's a loud computer.
All right, so go watch that.
Yeah, go watch that. It's pretty interesting. If you're into other old things, you're gonna have to. I can't believe somebody did this in JavaScript. Okay. It's unreal.
It's an IBM PC 5150 in JavaScript. So that's the original. I think IBM PC XT. They've got the binary ROM.
Refreshing it, just so there it is. Yep. Ooh.
Yeah, it's loading the video.
Here we go. Here we go. All right. Nice. All right. Now we've got these different. We got DOS 1 and 2. Right.
Yeah, and Microsoft Adventure. You can totally boot off of.
So we got, Microsoft. But you have to like simulate loading. Oh, come on, put it into the B drive here.
I don't think it's going to boot off the B drive.
You don't think so? Oh, only the A drive. Put it back in the A drive then. Load it up, and then we're going to reboot now that we put the thing into the drive, and it should boot back into Adventure.
But this is actually executing the binary ROM.
There it is.
In JavaScript. That's crazy.
Scanning cave structure. Okay, we're actually playing this game now. This is a game as a precursor to Zork, but it's on a totally different platform. So if you like games like that, check out this website and play some of this game. This is one of the first video games right here. Free and open internet. Google is doing something very cool because it benefits them. Let's not forget that having a free and open internet really benefits Google's business model. So they are on our team. They're not on the team of the the governments and the content providers out there. I guess not cable companies,
TV companies, and
yeah, they're not on that side. But
Hollywood.
they're on the side of the people because they make their money from the people just browsing the internet. Because Google is everywhere. So it's a genius business model. But what's going on here? Let's take a look at this. Several government agencies or several different governments are actually meeting together. So it's like an international thing. They put together this thing called the International Telecommunications Union. And I want that to sound ominous because it freaking is. And what do they want to do? Well, on December 3rd, they're going to sit down and talk. It's going to be a secret talk. That really scares me for the internet because the internet should not be secret. It should be something that everybody has access to and everybody, should be a part of the decision-making process on the internet. But here's what they're going to do. They're going to sit down and some of the things that they want to talk about, they want to talk about censoring the internet, being able to turn it on and off. They also want to talk about charging websites like YouTube and Facebook essentially long distance. Like if Facebook is going to go on our server or if Facebook is going to use Time Warner, then Facebook is going to have to pay Time Warner an extra amount of money to be part of this network. Or if it wants to be seen in Ireland or Russia or across these border lines, if it crosses this line to that line, it's going to have to pay us money, and we want more money from YouTube, and then that's going to affect us. And then, you know what, if they really get their way, we'll end up with tiered service plans, just like we have with cable companies. You can have the premium package, or you can have this package that you get Facebook and Yahoo and Ding Dang and whatever, Boing Boing and all these other websites. But if you want Tech Syndicate, you're going to have to get the esoteric, strange, bearded people package here for $89 a month. Is this where you see all this going?
Yeah, this is really bad. Basically, they don't understand the internet and how it works, but they're trying to figure out a way that they can screw people that have a lot of traffic. And so like Time Warner could maybe leverage some of the stuff these people have in mind, and so like Time Warner could be like, we're not going to give all of our customers a good experience on Google unless Google pays us, which they've tried to do in the past.
Yeah, and this can also be used to limit information, just limit everything we do on the internet so that they can have control. What can you do? Well, you can go and sign this and add your voice to it. And pledge to support the free and open internet. There's a link here on the website, so go ahead and sign that. Maybe that signature will do something for us. I think it may come to...
The internet doesn't have long distance fees because it's a better design. And this would be like, people getting together to figure out what to do with, buggy whip manufacturers. It's like, well, we got an automobile, but, is there some way we can use a buggy whip on an automobile? Let's figure out a way.
People even know what a buggy whip is anymore.
I don't know. I'm old.
I don't know. Put horseshoes on tires. That's not even nearly the same analogy, but
it's like everyone has to buy at least 8 horseshoes a year.
I'm gonna put them in your trunk of your car. It'll help. I don't know. Never mind.
Drone strikes. Oh, San Francisco would not respond to a Freedom of Information request on drone usage in San Francisco. They were like, that data is of limited public usefulness.
That's strange for San Francisco. They're usually pretty progressive.
Yeah, they don't want to talk about drone usage.
Well, speaking of drones and robots, Human Rights Watch. It's an organization and it's a website, and they put together a 50-page report called Losing Humanity, the Case Against Killer Robots, and they want to ban killer robots before they become available. Because if you take a look at the direction we're going, we've got drones, they are unmanned, but they are still controlled by a man, but they can kill. But you still have a human being who has, like, a conscience, and who can think things out and can reason like a human being, who has, sympathy, empathy, all these emotions that go into killing people. Theoretically, unless they're sociopaths and it's all beaten out of them. And, I know some of my friends who went into the military were waterboarded just because they were part of the military and they needed to, like, break their humanity so they could be more like a robot. But anyway, that's another story for another time. Right now what we're talking about is this report. And I just wanted to get into this because it is something that we should be thinking about in the future. How is it going to be in the future? In 5 years, are we going to have robots walking around that have the license to kill? That's the direction that we're going. And they're going to say, like, hey, it's for your safety. It's always for your safety. Do you understand?
Well, it's not hard to imagine, robot soldiers replacing real soldiers so that real soldiers stay alive. But it's not very far away from having robot soldiers that are deployed, and it's like, all right, all the robot soldiers to Baghdad, kill anything that moves.
Or what if they get upset with somewhere in the middle of Missouri, they're upset with this town, so they send the robots in there to seal off the town, and if you walk in, a robot has, a few parameters before they can shoot. If this person meets X, Y, and Z, one of the things probably being a beard, you may shoot this person. So it'll be like, you have 2 seconds to comply before we take action. It's going to be humans versus robots.
Yay, RoboCop.
It might be kind of fun, actually. Let me kick me some robot ass.
Yeah, it's going to be really terrible. This is a really good 50-page report, though, and it covers all the angles.
Yeah, I highly recommend that you guys check it out. It's a good read. Moving right along. This is hilarious. Porn companies are using face recognition technology, and right now what you're doing is if you go online and you find a picture of, a girl that you like, she's a porn star, whatever, you can go and you can use their service, sexfacefinder.com, and it'll show you everything that she's been in. And they're linked into all kinds of different databases. They're all over the porn sphere. So you can find all the stuff that they're in. But now they're encouraging you to get people just randomly off of Facebook and Instagram, and they will find them. So if they've ever done anything they didn't want to do, or maybe there's a bad picture of them on the internet, it's going to come up. And if it's not them, they'll use the technology to find someone that has similar features so that you can fantasize about your friends, which is kind of creepy. But you know where this leads to?
It's super disturbing.
This is going to lead to, like, just put 2 and 2 together here. There's a bunch of people out there who can take the face, off and map it onto, like, a 3D body or something like that and simulate things. And
yeah, how long before you upload a picture and then you can download a customized movie? That could be big business, but that's also deeply disturbing.
I'll let you guys figure out how disturbing that is in the comments.
I mean, is that even legal? I don't even know how that would. I don't even want to open that can of worms.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess it would be. I don't know.
I guess if they don't keep a copy of it, I mean, I don't. Well, I mean, I don't know. That's just messed up.
Yeah. So everyone's getting kind of freaked out about these mannequins that listen to you and watch what you're doing while you're in a store shopping. First off, guys, this has been going on for a long time, so I'm not sure why everybody is freaking out about this right now. But since it's been going on for a long time and everyone is freaking out, it makes me think that a lot of people don't know what's going on in the world. So let's tell you guys what's going on in the world. Right now, an Italian mannequin maker, Al Max, they're making these these mannequins, IC, like EYEC, is one word. You get it? It's kind of clever, isn't it? It's like $5,000, and they collect information. Like when someone walks up and is like, oh, that blouse, it's hideous. I think the cut should be a little higher, a little lower. They collect that kind of information and deliver it to the marketers so that they can tailor the experience better for you or make the fashions better for you based on your opinions. Now, let's just talk about historically where this has been happening. If you've got a phone, they know where you're going. They know what you're doing. Your phone has a MAC address, so they can track you anywhere you go. If you pass by a certain place, they can keep a log of it. It's almost like they can create a heat map of everywhere you go and what you do.
And that happens. Your phone MAC address is unique, so they can uniquely identify you.
Yeah, they always know that it's you. So that happens. And I'm not going to get too far into that But that happens, and when you're in stores, there are different technologies because your phone is always sending and receiving signals. They know what's going on.
Like when you got your Wi-Fi on your phone, it's continuously sending beacons to be like, hey, is this network that I remember in range? Hey, is this network in range? Hey, is this network in range? And that's one of the things that they can track.
If someone wanted to be more anonymous, you could turn your Wi-Fi off. But they're still going to be able to, you know, every time you try to connect to a tower or something like that, they're still going to be able to intercept the signals and know that you're around there.
Yeah, there are a couple companies that are tracking at the cellular level, which the FCC ought to get involved on that.
Yeah, like what the hell's going on with this cellular tracking? And here's an article about that. But yeah, they're always tracking your behavior, and they're also starting to do it with surveillance cameras now because they've had these cameras there and they're usually used for shoplifting. But someone said, hey, you know what? If we started using the data that we collect from these surveillance cameras, we could write a little piece of software, and then we could see, you know, what part of the store, you know, customers hung out in. We could see, like, hey, at this time of day, 90% of the people in here are, like, kids or something, you know?
And surprisingly, the CCTV technology is the most anonymity preserving of the technologies, which is, you know, counterintuitive.
I mean, I guess 10 years from now we'll have like HD CCTV, but right now it's like terrible quality. Like some of them are like 320p and stuff.
16 megapixel video.
Yes, it's exactly what we need. So the more disturbing thing that's going on right now with our privacy is that the governments really want access to VoIP. And VoIP, you know, it's analog and then it turns to digital, and then on the other end it's analog again, but in the middle it's kind of hard to listen in on. It's hard to track. So the government agencies, you know, they want to be able to track this, and they want to be able to do it for free, and they want to be able to do it silently, and companies are freaking out and trying to, you know, create software as quickly as possible so they can get the money from the government. And there are some companies who are filing patents, and Microsoft is one of them. But Microsoft, they really did this by just acquiring Skype. And then now they're just like, hey, government, we can record everything. What do you want? And they're going to be making a lot of money from the government because of that. So you have something to add to this?
Sure looks that way from the Kim.com thing.
Yeah.
Because they were like, oh, look, all this Skype stuff. And it's like,
Yeah. Where's that other company that's doing it? There's another company that filed a bunch of patents, and some of these patents may conflict with Microsoft patents, so we'll see where this goes. But there's another company called VoIP. Okay, one of the technologies they came up with is called legal intercept technology, and it would just allow government agencies to silently record VoIP communications. So there are companies out there that are making this technology because the government is paying big money for it, and now you guys know that it's out there.
Well, let's make it clear. You know, Petraeus, the director of the part of the government that deals with espionage, could not keep his communications secret. They already have all the tools they need to spy on an individual. What this is about is spying on massive amounts of people and then mining that data.
Yeah.
Which is a important but subtle distinction.
So as we've been talking about, there's data everywhere. It just floats around. And there was a hacker who obtained some data from AT&T. You know this case better than I do because I haven't been following it as much, but it is somewhat disturbing, so let's talk about it.
Oh, well, all it is there's a couple of guys who figured out an AT&T service that you could submit an ICC ID, which is like an IMEI or something like that. It's really easy to guess.
It's Andrew Arnheimer, right?
Yeah. And so a couple of guys figured out how to submit to that service, and then AT&T will return an email address. There's no authentication. There's no anything. It's almost like an old school finger service, like from way back in the internet.
You hit a server, it tells you all the email addresses that have accounts on that server.
Yeah, you could query a server and find out the accounts and things like that.
Yeah.
So they wrote a script to do that. There was no encryption, no password, no hey, you shouldn't do this kind of thing. And I could see maybe AT&T suing them over that, but no, it's federal charges, found guilty by a jury. It's crazy.
And you only got email addresses, something that's almost considered public. An email address is not like a secret thing. There's no passwords here. There's no identity theft going on. He just got their email addresses.
AT&T screwed up the security if that's not supposed to be public. It's not really him.
Yeah, he pointed out a fault in AT&T, and then AT&T takes him to court and wins. This week, everybody's been freaking out about the Senate. They want to rewrite the bill to allow the feds to anonymously read your email without warrants.
Interestingly, it was called the Don't Allow the Feds to Read Your Email Anonymously Without Warrants Act.
It's always called that. Whatever they say, like, if they're like, the Don't Blow Up People in the Streets Act is really the Blow Up People in the Streets Act. That's how you know what's going on in government. Whatever they say the name of the act is, if you read it, you're like, this is not that. It's like getting a box of cereal and pouring a steak into your bowl. That's what happens every time. Anyway, Leahy, freaking Patrick Leahy. I can't say anything bad because most of my things are like, God, I wish I could have cut that guy, but I can't say that. But Patrick Leahy, one of the, God, he should be like the chairman senator for bad ideas. Anyway, he proposed this draconian bill that would allow them to just monitor like all of your electronic correspondences, more than just email. Without a warrant, it would allow local law enforcement officials to come in and monitor closed networks like university networks.
Yeah.
Without a warrant.
Yeah, it started out as just bad, and then it got rewritten to be hideously evil.
He's like, hey, people aren't yelling yet. He's like, you think we can get away with a few more things? Yeah, we can get away with some more stuff. Let's do some more stuff.
And again, this bill was designed for mass surveillance. They already have all the tools they need to spy on an individual, but it takes a lot of resources to spy on an individual. They want to spy in mass. They want automated tools to spy on thousands of people at once.
Well, somebody's going to be getting some big government contracts through that.
Yeah.
It'll put a few people into a job. Yeah. Anyway, he's already scuttled the bill because the public outcry was such that he's looking like a monster right now, and he is a monster. I mean, Leahy, who voted this guy back into power? I want everyone who voted for them so I can go knock on their door and then punch them in the eye.
Never attribute to malice what can be explained by incompetence.
Anyway, he's already abandoned the bill. But we really got to keep an eye on Leahy because even though he's abandoned his bill, what he's really going to do is go off and hide and make a secretive bill. You know this is going to happen. So just watch everything Leahy does. Somebody out there needs to make that their job. We should all go stand around his house with binoculars and be like, how do you like the security? This is what are you guys doing in my yard? This is we call this the Leahy Security Act. Can't you see how safe and private you are?
This is the Americans should have private email and communications and apple pie act. It's like line 1 is no apple pie for anyone. What?
All right, moving along then. Let's talk about Kim.com. We like to talk about Kim.com. Yeah, the warrant was partially unsealed. They kept a lot of their evidence that they used to justify the raids secret. So now some of that came out. They unsealed it a bit, and it seems kind of shaky. Seems really, really shaky. So what happened here was that Mega Upload, they have some servers in Virginia, and they were allowing another internet company called Ninja Video to use their servers as almost like a hosting company. So this company, Ninja Video, they were hosting pirated content. They had 29 videos that were getting lots of hits, and they were like, big budget movies and that sort of thing. So Hollywood was angry at this. So they got a warrant and to search Mega Video or to search Ninja Video. And Mega Upload totally cooperated with everything. They've said, like, cool, you know what? You want these guys? If they're downloading bad stuff, sure, you guys can have them. And the courts said, hey, you need to take down all those videos. And then they immediately said, don't take down those videos because those videos are evidence. So that's the problem right now because the courts are still angry with Kim.com for not taking down those videos, but they told them.
Mega Upload's lawyers seem to be saying, and they haven't released a smoking gun on this, but there should be a filing any day now if this is true. But the lawyers were saying that they had received a request not to take down these infringing videos because it was part of another investigation. And then a year later, they were saying, well, you guys haven't taken down these videos. They've been there for a year. Therefore, you guys know what's up and you're not taking down infringing videos. We ought to be able to raid you.
Right.
Yeah. That's really, really, if their lawyers have proof of that, the judge is gonna be pissed. The American judge is probably gonna be pissed. And we should also point out that users could not monetize files over 100 meg with ads. You had to have a file less than 100 meg in order to monetize it on their system.
And what kind of an idiot's going to be uploading a movie that's under 100 meg? It's not going to happen. If you do, it's going to be like
Hollywood movies are not, all Hollywood movies are more than 100 meg, period. Yeah.
And if they're in quality that's actually watchable, they're 1 to 2 gigs easily.
So these people were not making ad revenue from this. So, not only that, but the content holders had direct access to the system to take down whatever they wanted too. They just didn't.
A lot of holes in this case.
Yeah.
So President Obama, he went over to New Zealand and talked to the Prime Minister John Key, and among the things that they talked about were Kim.com. Kind of funny that he's
so popular.
He's so popular that Obama is over there talking about him. Now, the entire meeting was a secret, so we don't know what he talked about, but they did talk about Kim.com. So Kim.com is using this as a platform and an opportunity to say to Obama, hey, Obama, give me a green card. We want to come to America and teach those morons in Hollywood how to use the internet and how to do web business. So that's what he's asking for right now. I think it's kind of funny. He came out and he's like, yeah, we'll come right over and we'll teach the guys in Hollywood how to do web business. He's actually offering to help them. Well, I don't know. Where do you think this is going to go?
It's kind of fun. I saw an interview with the guys in New Zealand, and apparently the guy that was in charge of the investigation, like the people, the New Zealand news organizations were like, so, is this a conspiracy? And his exact words were, well, no, this is a cock-up. It's not really a conspiracy. But yeah, it's a cock-up.
He said a cock-up?
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool phrase. We don't use that here in the States, but...
Apparently what they did in New Zealand was insanely illegal because he's a citizen there.
Yeah.
And they didn't know that. They knew what he had for breakfast, for the last 6 months, but they didn't know he was a citizen. And it's like, really? I mean, are you that stupid? And
he had
the
eggs,
guy's like,
wheat toast, a piece of avocado, and siracha sauce. Is he a citizen? I don't think so. I don't know.
I don't think he's a citizen.
Let me go ask Randy.
Yeah, I would describe that as a cock-up. I mean, honestly.
You see the time.
Rant 30.
In this edition of Rant 30, we're going to talk about this whole Republican copyright reform thing that everyone is talking about on the internet, because I don't think anybody's been getting to the bottom of this. Do you?
No, I definitely don't think so. Did you guys see this?
Let's preface this by talking about what's going on. So recently, a couple guys wrote a report. One guy was a professor at Virginia, and one guy's a professor at UCLA. And they wrote a report about the problems with the copyright law right now, and just the way it's being abused, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the Republicans, they were, and if it was pretty much a letter to them saying like, hey guys, if you want to be cool, you should be the party of copyright reform. And then some Republicans got together and they put together this paper that really showed they understood what was going on in the world today. And they proposed some major changes that everyone was like, oh my God, the Republicans are really doing something right here. They're saying that copyright owners shouldn't have total control, that the copyright shouldn't be government-mandated indefinite monopoly. They said a lot of really interesting things, and that the copyright was really there to enrich, user experience, and we need to allow more, derivative works, and we need to allow more mashups or whatever, and we need to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Copyright must balance the public good, which you get after it goes into the public domain, and incentivizing the author or authors to do the work in the first place. It must balance those two things.
So like a day after they released this report, Hollywood was like, no. And then they took the report down.
It disappeared in less than 24 hours.
Yeah, it's just gone. So here's the interesting thing about this. Everyone was saying that the Republicans were doing something amazing here, and then they pulled it down. But that's not what was happening, and that's historically not the way things go.
What usually happens, and this is why it gets classified, this is why it gets called crony capitalism sometimes. But somebody looked at the situation with copyright and looked at the situation with people who want media, and were like, well, if we adjusted the law a little bit, it would create all these new markets and all these new opportunities for new companies. There would be, there's totally new media distribution models, there's totally new this, that, and the other. But it all starts with copyright law reform, because copyright law is far too overreaching and far too powerful at shutting down these things that we do culturally in terms of sharing information and these things that we do, as citizens consuming media. And historically, the Republicans will do this type of thing and create new markets, and then their buddies and friends and things like that, just as soon as those laws go into effect, they're ready to capitalize on those markets or corner those markets. They've got companies ready. And
they got like 5 or 6 companies that get all the gold or whatever, or get all the good stuff.
Like, for example, the TSA body scanners.
Yeah,
it was like, we need to scan people with millimeter wave x-rays. Well, I just so happen to have a company that makes millimeter wave x-rays. Ta-da!
Or it was the other way around, where the company with millimeter wave x-rays said, hey, let's put Randy in power in the government so we can get these millimeter wave x-rays into every airport in the country.
Hey, Randy, I've got a super PAC with $1 million. What are we going to do?
Let's do copyright reform this time. So that's what was happening, guys. That's really what was happening.
Hollywood wigged out.
What you need to ask yourself every time you see something like this is, who will it benefit? Will it benefit the big companies? Will it benefit Hollywood, like the Six Strikes plan? Is that going to benefit like Bob Joe, who plays like a banjo and like releases an album? If he does like a DMCA takedown notice, is anybody going to care? I mean, is his stuff going to be like, no.
Basically,
it's not going to protect the mom and pop people. It's not going to protect the small, and it's not going to protect the small businesses.
Yeah, basically these tools, like, oh, you want to change the law, oh, you want to do this, oh, you want 6 strikes. How can the individual artist, how can the singer-songwriter take advantage of this? And if you look at it and you're like, well, there isn't really any way for an individual to take advantage of this, you got to kick and scream and say, no, we're not going to do this because this doesn't benefit big business. This is not, incentivizing no.
It only benefits big business. Yeah. So yeah, that's stuff to ponder. So the Death Adder is one of the best mouses of all time, in my opinion, but they're releasing a new Death Adder, and this is going to be interesting because they're making it with the most advanced optical sensor ever, and optical sensors are extremely smooth. And one thing that I think is interesting, I'm using this Zowie mouse right here. The new Death Adder is stealing a few ideas from this mouse because this mouse is similar to a Death Adder, except they rubberized the entire mouse, including the side grips. So that's what they're doing on this version. Let's talk about some science. IBM has simulated 530 billion neurons and 100 trillion synapses using a supercomputer. This is a project for DARPA Synapse. They've actually simulated a brain. I don't know what the implications of this are. We can chat about this.
Soon we will know if intelligence, a consciousness, spawns from raw intelligence. So far that hasn't happened, but we haven't really had the horsepower.
Yeah, and this could be, this could be the first computer that says, hey, I'm a computer. Hey kid, I'm a computer.
I always wanted to study neuroscience. The human brain, from what I understand, is very slow. It's like, maybe a 200 kilohertz clock speed.
Yeah.
But it's massively parallel. And when I say massively parallel, I mean, hundreds of billions of neurons.
Yeah.
So hundreds of billions of processors, but...
yeah, like 530 billion.
Yeah, so firing at, 200 kilohertz. So...
Parallel's the way to go. Talk about some games real quick. Talking about some games real quick. Star Citizen. It's been on Kickstarter for a while. It's now at $6 million.
Is this the most successful Kickstarter project in history?
No. No, because, only 2 million of it is from Kickstarter.
Oh, okay.
He has 400 million of, private investor funds. So he's putting all that into the game. It's going to be pretty cool because it's going to be the spiritual successor to Wing Commander.
Yeah.
If you're into games, right now is a really good time to be alive because, it's a holiday. Whenever there's holidays, there's sales everywhere. Good Old Games has some really cool stuff. I'm going to recommend a few. They've got this, you pick 5 and pay $10, and some of these games are like $19 a piece. So here's the ones that I picked up. I picked up the Blackwell Bundle. I picked up, a bunch of stuff. Let me click on it and show you which games I picked up entirely. I picked up Resonance and Gemini Rue. Max picked up To the Moon. Hey, Alan Wake's on here. Torchlight's on here. Uplink. Machinarium. All kinds of good games. Trine, if you don't have Trine yet. That's pretty cool. Steam sale is going on, starting now. And I also wanted to plug this game, because if you guys played Resonance, we put a review to Resonance up on our website. If you like click adventures, really cool click adventures, you should check out this one. It's coming out very soon. Primordia. Just check it out. Thank me later, because it's going to be a really cool click adventure if you like click adventures. And we have a review for that coming up very soon. That's pretty much it. I think I'll give away something. Should I give away something? Nah.
No, let's give it away.
Some away?
I think we ought to.
Do we have enough time?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to give away Legion Hellion Mouse. Good old Legion Hellion Mouse. So we're going to give that away. There'll be a link in the description that'll tell you what you need to do to win it. It'll be another obvious quiz. And yeah, and you guys will have to watch the show in order to get it. That's the only way you can get it is you have to watch. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe up there. Enjoy your turkey. If you're a vegetarian, enjoy your tofurkey or whatever you're going to be eating. Or if you're like me, enjoy your hike and a glass of beer or whatever you're going to do. I don't know. What are you doing?
I don't know. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be chaos.
Yeah. This silly holiday. I'm such a Scrooge for all holidays. I'm a Grinch, I guess. Can you be a Grinch for Thanksgiving?
I don't think so.
A Thrinch, maybe?
Thanksgiving is about, eating a lot of food, passing out, and not having to worry about anything.
Yeah. Was there an original meaning somewhere in there?
No.
I think my meaning in the beginning is the real meaning. All right, I'll see you guys next time.